If you're the type of person that has ideas for your business written everywhere, today's episode is going to be really great for you. It is going to give you some tips and ideas about how to take the projects and ideas and things that you want to do for your business and find out ways about how to organize those, create some categories, and how to implement those into a calendar that's going to work for your schedule and your energy levels, and of course, make a big impact on your business. So today we're going to talk about tips for organizing your business and the priorities and things you want to get done. So let's get started. Welcome to the Marketing and Mindset Podcast, where we talk about using authentic strategies to promote your business your way. I'm your host, Jessica Wanglund, wife, mom, blogger, website designer, lover of all things DIY projects and natural living. I'm your ambitious mom friend next door who will inspire you to grow a business that you love. On the show, we talk about content creation, website strategy, and marketing ideas that you can use today. Hi friend, welcome back to the show. I'm going to provide a really quick disclaimer and say, if you are finding this or have found it in a different spot, this podcast, I have to change the name for it. So it is early 2024 right now, and unfortunately, I haven't gotten any episodes out because I've kind of been stuck with this paralysis of what do I rename my podcast? It's not a very easy thing. So the deal with this one is that the name that I've chosen, that I've used, Marketing and Mindset, is actually taken by several other podcasts. Not that name specifically, but the words are used in a lot of other shows. The URL is not available. And I just don't want to get into a situation where I would have to change the name for any kind of legal purposes or something like that. So anyway, I hope you have found this. If you find another name for the show, I would love it if you would subscribe, leave us a rating so more people can find it, and please share this on any place that you feel like other women running a small business might find. I would sincerely love that. But we're going to get into the show today. We want to talk about tips to organize your small business and give you a lot of ideas for if you have different competing priorities, how to organize those priorities and put them in a system that is actually going to really help you out, keep you organized, help you get the right things done, and recognize that you actually have a plan and a schedule for your business. So this is something that you can do when we start a new year, a new month or quarter, or even quite honestly, a new week. It's a great time to really just reflect, plan, get some priorities for the future. If you're overwhelmed with things to do in your business, this is how you can make some time for all the ideas that you have. We know that there's several ways to organize and prioritize, but we want to set you on a motion with a plan to actually accomplish those priorities. So let's talk about organizing what you want to achieve so you can actually prioritize making money and help get yourself seen, or do whatever other things really might be a front and foremost idea for your own business. So lots of ways to do this. I actually jumped into doing this at the end of the calendar year, and I was kind of like actually toward the end of December-ish when I did this. So if you're starting this process and you really love it and you just want to get going, tailor it to how it works for your business. So the idea is to make a list of all of the things that you want to accomplish in your business. We have a lot of those, so this can be a very comprehensive list, right? But what you're going to do is you're going to categorize those projects and ideas. You're going to put them into different categories that make sense for your business. And then you're going to schedule those projects every single month for something for you to do. There's a lot of different reasons about how to schedule your life in your year. I recently read the 12-week year, which was great, because the idea of putting some things into a time frame really do help you, because you don't, number one, get too bored with a project, or it just goes on for too long, or you put off doing what you're supposed to be doing because you realize you have a whole year. They say that's why people give up on New Year's resolutions, of course, because they just think, oh, well, I've got 11, 12 months to do this. No rush to get it done now, right? So there's a lot of ways to organize those things, but I talk about specifically doing it in a month time frame. I felt like that's a good time frame for you to kind of regroup. The seasons often change month to month. Sometimes there's a month when, a month or two in a row where your kids are off school, so you can kind of work around those schedules and things like that, like mine are. But here are a couple of activities that I specifically talk about, what I do in my small business. If it helps you to realize that these are things that you're doing too, then this process might work for you. So you don't want to be jumping from thing to thing, but instead have that time with all these priorities and put it in a place, of course, that works for you. So right now in my small business, I offer VIP day services for website design and updates for mainly small business owners who are looking to create or update their website. I sell digital courses and products. I'm actually launching a course and probably two this year, which will be really exciting and fun. So look for that. I manage my email list and my social media accounts. Of course, I have a growing list of email subscribers. I would love for you to come to the site. You can certainly find a place to jump on the list there. I do collaborations with other entrepreneurs. So this is kind of like a marketing outlet to meet other people, to network and get yourself seen and do all the fun that goes along with that. I do run a network marketing business with a wellness company that I've been with since 2015. And I write and publish blog posts and publish my podcast for content for my business. And so there's a lot going on there, of course. Some people have like half of those or maybe one of those. But that's just an example when we think about business activities, what it looks like. So if you're in a similar boat, welcome. Let's get started. Let's get productive. So here's what we're going to cover today. Making a list of the projects and where to get ideas from if you don't really know what to prioritize in terms of doing things for your business. Categories you can create for each of your projects to really optimize your focus and kind of help you segment those things in a way, if that's how your brain works, to help you how to assign projects based on your priorities. Some real life examples of things I do in my own business. We had just listed some of those. And then the best tools I use to organize my business and the things that I love to have to just keep the productivity going and the tools that I use every single day. So first of all, let's talk a little bit about small business organization, what that looks like. Certainly its own challenge, right? Making sure you want to do a couple of things here. Making sure that you have defined your clear goals. When I'm doing website design for people, we spend a lot of time doing strategy because that's what really it comes down to, making sure people are doing the right type of activities and they have everything aligned. So is it time for you right now to create a website or really get started on a blogging plan? Or are you actually in the phase of securing clients or selling courses or developing workshops for people? If you don't know where to start with goal setting, start with the basics of how you're going to get revenue and creating services or products that you can sell to people to actually make that revenue. So prioritize tasks. Number 2, small business organization tips. You have to be doing the right tasks in order to actually be getting into the right place with your business. A lot of us start with things that really we like to do, but they don't really push or move the needle, like they say, at some point. So get yourself some kind of business software where you can organize some things. I love using Trello. I've loved using Asana in the past, but really just like any kind of planner or to-do list will help you to prioritize things and make yourself a list so you understand what to do first. Because really, otherwise, you are not spending your time wisely. And I don't want you to be disappointed. Number 3 tips for small business organization, focus on revenue generation. Like I said, your primary focus should be on activities that make you money. Don't waste your time doing things you can't invoice for or you can't get paid for right from the get-go. I would advise that to anybody, really. So some sustainable strategies that I focus on include growing my email list because that's a community of people that know what I have to offer and they like what I have to offer. So that's a great way to start. Plus your email list, like we know, is an asset that you own for your business. I also focus on blogging. I am working very much more now for the first time really ever is to like jump in headfirst in learning SEO so I can get found online. Less traffic is coming from social. We absolutely want to make sure that we are getting found in different places. So blogging is my jam. I love it. I started my online business blogging in 2009. As you know, so blogging is near and dear to my heart, and I would encourage anybody to create long-form evergreen content in whatever way that looks like. Podcast, blogging, long-form video, because those avenues are not reliant on social and they're search engines in themselves. And then promoting my courses. So those are strategies that I'm doing right now as well to basically prioritize and focus and earn money from my business. And then last, small business organization tips. If you can, automate things and delegate things. Don't spend time doing tasks because again, you're going to find that's a huge time saver. So let's get started on your process for how you actually identify the projects that you have going on, set them into some categories and plan them out for the year. So first of all, you're going to make a list of all the projects and all the ideas and all the things that you want to do. Really, I repeat, all the things. So make a huge comprehensive list, review any old notes or ideas you have in your planner, on your desk, on your Post-its, whatever that might look like, and then get those ideas written down. So this is a great place where something like Trello comes into because you can like click and drag on the boards and the lists and all of those things, the cards on there to move your organization and your ideas around. but a plain old regular spreadsheet just works for a list of priorities that you have to do. If your list is short, use a piece of paper. Don't make it complicated, just get the list created. It probably will be a lot, but when it is a lot and you have everything down, you know you're going to have a comprehensive plan. So here's a couple of examples that might be things that you want to do for your business if you're just getting started or if you are kind of revamping or any stage in between. You definitely want to identify ways that you're going to make money, whatever that looks like. If that's services, digital products, courses, other things like that, partnerships, affiliate marketing, blogging, network marketing, whatever that might be. List down the ways that you're going to make money for your business. The second thing is you want to think about operations. Well, how does this kind of thing happen? What are the things you have to get in place in order to make the money? Do you need to get a website? Do you need to start an email list? Do you need to start reaching out and create a network of people who you can collaborate with on doing certain kind of projects? All of those things can be in this project list that you want to get done. And it can be as small as something like start a Pinterest plan, which is on my list as well. I've been on Pinterest for many years, but I don't really have a great sustainable, regular plan that I use with it. So that's one of my operations projects, for example. So then we're going to get into creating categories for your projects. So determining categories that align with the nature of your business and then customizing those to serve for your individual needs. So what do I mean by categories? You're going to take all of the items that you have listed down that you want to do for your business and you're going to give them a type, right? So we know food, for example, we know that chicken is a protein, right? And a banana is a fruit. So that's what I mean by categories. So you want to understand what the projects are that fit into the categories that you're going to create for your business. Now, it may not really seem totally natural to put your ideas or projects into little boxes like this, but trust me, if you're the type of person you have a green personality or you need organization, you're really going to appreciate this because I think perhaps the minute you start to kind of align where your focuses and all the ideas are that you have going on, you have ideas which you're not really implementing or you're spending too much time by yourself and you're not collaborating, you're really going to start to see where the overload is and where the gaps are. And then it's also going to help you differentiate the projects so you know which ones make you money and which ones do not. So here's some examples of individual categories that you could use to organize the project ideas for your business. These are the ones that I have and use mostly. Number 1, launches. Anything you're going to you will create, offer, sell, relaunch is included in there, of course. Launches are a big deal. That's one category in itself. Number 2, workshops. These usually are just special one-off projects, live trainings, or webinars. Number 3, digital products. Something you're creating and all the work that goes along with it. This might be kind of similar like launches, but you might have digital products that just exist and you're going to promote them at a certain time, or perhaps you have some kind of thing to do with them, like you need to create a funnel for them. So digital products is its own category. Services. So what, if any, services will you offer that month? Again, workshops, one-on-one services, VIP day services, things like that, group programs, etc. Next category, bundles, summits, and speaking. Goes with kind of the networking, collaboration thing, kind of concept. But those really are their own kind of level. They do require their own series of planning to do a bundle or summit or something like that. Then I include anything that's on a different brand that you have. So I include all the projects for my wellness business that I'm doing at that specific month. So this might be a sub brand or something else that you have going on for your business or another one that you do. Certainly you can include that in the categories. Next up is operations. So operations are all the things that you have behind the scenes, that don't really make you money, but they kind of have to be done. And that maybe people don't really see them, but they're there and they exist. So things like setting up your email list or doing any kind of changing email service providers or something like that. If that's on your priority list, it's a big deal. So you have to make that one of your projects. Or editing your website, revamping your website, doing a brand photo shoot is kind of an operations thing a little bit. So like I said before, setting up your Pinterest plan, that's definitely an operations activity that I would kind of categorize in that area. And then lastly, marketing. So you can put any kind of promotional project in this category. So marketing, promotions, anything that gets you seen, gets you heard, sells your stuff. So examples of categories that you can put your projects in, again, launches, workshops, digital products, services, collaborations, bundles, summits, and speaking, any kind of other brand that you have, operations, and marketing. So you kind of start to see how the ideas that you have in list 1 go along and match up with the category list, right? So make some that fit your business. There's no right or wrong answer here. Just really make it work for you. Our third step in organizing your business ideas and priorities is going to be scheduling your projects. Assigning projects to different categories for each month. Here's where it gets really fun. But here's where some of the heavy lifting comes in as well. You want to make sure that you consider some personal factors like vacations, your energy level that month, if you have other things scheduled, if you're going on a trip, if your children are off school for the summer, and you want to really sit down, look at your category projects and look at your categories and assign one per month. So you're going to have one of each category per month. You're going to have one launch, and that might span 2 months actually. You're going to have one workshop. You're going to have one digital product. You're going to have one service. You're going to have one operations project, and you're going to have like one marketing promo per month. So does this start to make sense? You're going to see, can we visualize here? So this is going to take a little while. And I started to do this, and I did roughly map out the whole year at the time, and I did this at the end of December. So I could kind of see, because a lot of it really was based on my children being home for the summer and what it was going to look like. I knew when my free time was going to be, and when knew I could spend more time doing certain things. So go ahead and make out 12, lists, January through December, or whenever you start this, and assign each of your projects per category to a month of the year. So make sure that each category only gets one project that month, unless you are super ambitious and you're taking on 2 operations projects that month or something. Like, you're not going to have really 2 launches per se of something or creating something. But keep it simple and really align this. Think about what it looks like for you, how much time you have to work on things. That's a very huge, important factor. And you're going to start to see where things match up. Like, you might have tons of ideas for digital products you want to create. And if that's the case, I really encourage you to align those with your business. Like, do they all connect? Is this what your audience is looking for? But perhaps you need to shift your attention and then do something in a different area for that month. So, a side note, pro tip, when it comes to scheduling out your projects for the year, know that your plans will change, because really that's just how life goes. But the more you can plan out, the better your brain is going to work on staying focused on that project that you have assigned to you for that month or that time period. And the less likely you may want to be to take on too many other things. So just remember, you plan that project for another time. When I started doing this, I really was looking at my list and thinking, I've got 5 things that I immediately want to get out to the public right now, because I want the revenue flow. I want these things created. I want my business to I want to be exposed, for doing these kind of things. But when it comes down to it, there's just really no physical possible way I could have launched 5 things and have those all ready for a month. So I was patient. I scheduled those things out, and now I know that I only have January to do this one thing, and it better be done, because I've got that next thing coming up on February 1st, and I'm really excited about that. So that's a way to kind of structure it and schedule it in your head and see what that looks like visually for you to plan these things out. And speaking of visual, we are going to make sure that you see this list that you have assigned to yourself and to your business, or even if this is a practice you're putting in place for your life, you certainly could do this for life. I could see how really helpful and productive that would be, like in home life, like team meeting with your partner. These are the projects we want to do this month. These are the projects we want to do that quarter, right? Okay, so you want to visualize your success though. So the last step here is to make yourself a list so you can see everything that you have planned for that specific month or time period whenever it starts, and so that you can make sure you stick with your plan. So you spend a lot of time and energy organizing this, so we want to make sure that you get the results from it. So ways I do this are to include a graphic that I made that says March plans at the top. And I have all my categories listed on the left, and I have all my projects listed on, categories on the right, projects on the left, so they match up. So just an example, when I'm recording this, it is March 2024. I am creating my new course this month, which is called Create Your WordPress Website, which is for people who do not have a site or want to move it to the WordPress platform, start with blogging, get a web presence, design it, style it, launch it. That'll be a very fun an easy level project for you to do for your business. That's the idea of it anyways. So I'm launching that course, and I'm also doing some summits recording this month. So that's my collaboration category. I am doing a clean home challenge with my wellness business this month. So I know I'm focusing only on that for that specific category. And then I'm actually going to revamp my own website just a little bit to add some other things in there as well. So those are just some real life examples of what it looks like for you to take the plan and put it into a list and see it every day. So I have on my cell phone wallpaper my graphic for that plan, that list I just read to you. It is also a graphic that I have on my Trello board business planner that is in my current projects list. So I know exactly every time I open that board what I'm supposed to be focusing on that day. And so it's a great reminder just to keep myself aligned and ready for what I'm doing. And then I also actually have it on my laptop wallpaper. So you can make all kinds of graphics you want in Canva. Of course, fun to do those. Then here's how we implement. And this is going to be brief because there's a lot of ways to implement projects, of course. You want to transfer your plan to your project management software. If that is just your physical paper planner, I love a paper planner. I use it all the time. I love the Happy Planner, one of my favorites. Transfer your projects to a project management software with detailed checklists and dates. So what this looks like in Trello is I have a list called current projects, and I make a card for each project for my month. So right now I have, 6 projects going on this month, and I have them all listed out on each card with to-do lists on each, with notes on each, with links on each for all of those separate projects that I have going on. So I know the to-do lists that are happening with all of them. And you can actually know what you want your plans to be. And when you have time and you are work dedicated and you're sitting down, you know exactly what you want to do, right? So you can make them to however it fits you and your personality. Again, if you're just making a paper list, if you are using like the Notes app on your phone, great, easy thing to do. Again, Trello is free. There's a lot of ideas to that, but you can, map out things in like Canva, of course, as well. If you're a Post-it kind of person, definitely use those as well. But having like that organized is really going to keep you on track. And you'll know exactly what to do when it comes time for work. And that's the most important thing. And then lastly, again, make sure you review and you adapt your plans for when it goes. So here's how, again, a personal example. When I started doing this in December, I only knew I was going to have time for like 2 things at the end of that month. I didn't even get one of them done, just so you were clear. I'm not Superwoman and nobody is. But think about reflecting at the end of the month for whatever time period you make your plans for and understanding, reviewing what you did accomplish and what you didn't. So when I have my card for my March plans, I take notes in that and then I move it to the done column on my Trello board, and I will understand like which of the projects I just didn't have time to do. When I look at this, I can kind of get a sense and a feel. But this time, March is the 3rd month that I'm doing this. And I finally feel like these things are like within my scope of possibility, within my time that I'm going to have to be able to do these things. And so think about that. You absolutely do not want to overschedule yourself. That won't be any good. And you don't want to do like too little, where perhaps if you do have more time to work, you could probably get some things done. You can always adapt it that way. So I encourage you, after you're doing this, to take some time and reflect. Take down notes of what you did and didn't do. And if you have projects you have not done, move them later in the year. So when I sat down and did this for the whole year, I did plan out some very high level things, but I left the summer months very open because I really do not have a lot of work time in July and August because my kids are home from school. But then I have some things roughly planned for like relaunches in the fall, but I know that that's going to be a time and I'm going to kind of be playing catch up, and I'm going to have things on my list that I didn't get to do this first quarter, then I'm going to move to another time period, and that's totally fine. So keep your cards available and your projects really aligned with what works for you, your schedule, your life, your business goals. And I hope that gives you ideas and inspiration to really make some great things happen in your business. As always, please come and find us at our website, my website, jessicawangland.com. You can find all of our blog posts there, all of our podcast information, and all kinds of other goodies for your business. And we will see you for sure on the next episode. Thanks so much for listening to the show today. I really appreciate you being here. Please leave a rating and reviews that helps more people to find our show and help them with their marketing and their mindset to grow their business with confidence. See you next time.